Okay, I'm back with another episode of Teenage Exocolonist. So today we're gonna finish up our second run. Okay, so what we're gonna be is more of in this run a little bit of everything, but mostly for relationship. I think we'll go for Nomi. A bit too late to go for tangent and this because like we still haven't unlocked the bar job. Okay, but and also I do want to do another thing, which is I want us to be able to explore the globe. Okay, and to do that we might need to do something in the foraging again. They say we need to find a relay in the relay while foraging in the Valley of Vertigo, but we haven't done that, so maybe we'll do that first, okay? Because it is it is glow season after we did something, after we tried to do something heroic in the glow, okay? Oh, it's not glow, it's a clue. Quiet season, okay? Sorry about that. Okay, let's go. So catch Nomi in the lounge, drawing on a single piece of acro paper. They look extremely confused and don't seem to notice you. Come in. As you get closer, you can tell that this piece is one that they're putting a lot of work into. Whoa, that's a fancy drawing. Nomi head snaps up and you can practically watch their blush spread across their cheeks and down their neck in real time. Oh, Scamo, they exclaim, covering the picture with their hands and looking up at you with wide panicked eye. I didn't see you there. I love your art, let me see it. Nomi's shoulders come down from around their ears. But really? Really? You do? They look down at their drawing, then grow tense again and snap it up, holding it carefully to their chest. Wait, no, you can't see it until it's done. Nomi jumps up, scattering their art supplies everywhere. I have to be somewhere else right now. Bye. They run out of the lounge, gently screaming. Well, that was stranger than normal. Okay, so now let's give her her favorite stuff, which is Strain Device or Whipple. What makes it tick? Hugs. Okay. Ooh. Rex just beams when he sees you walking towards him. Come on, he called. Just the person I want to see. You duck under the shade of an overhanging bit of old construction. I want to talk to you about something. Rex starts with her preamble. I want to talk about... Nothing to talk about, we're just friends. Rex tilts his head and looks at you quizzically. Are you sure? Cause I swear I thought, nah, must have been imagining it. He shrugs and laughs at himself. I just like everyone, you know? Sometimes I guess I see things that aren't there. If you want to be friends, I'm totally cool with that. Rex flings a friendly armor around your shoulders. I'm glad we talked about this. He says, there's nothing better than a boy and a dog, right? You have to agree. It's awkward to tell someone you don't like them that way, but you feel good about this one. And Rex seems genuinely as happy as ever. It's good to have a friend like Rex. Okay, next. Oops. For us to actually like overthrow Lum, either as either as an assistant or the governor, you need to have quite a high amount of persuasion. Okay. Okay. Now, found something. Yeah, pop a fruit. That's not bad. Nothing. Mom, tell her what you learned today. Okay. Organizing 80. Dang, that's a lot. Oh well. Oh, this. You can't find this outside the walls, even though the duty roster has him working on the expedition vehicle today. After asking around, one of his crewmates points you to where she'd seen him disappear into the forest just 10 minutes ago. You thank her and set off into the wilderness. They picked up a few things about tracking after hanging out with this for so long. So you follow his trail into the nearby mushroot forest until you hear him speaking calm and slow. Shh, it's gonna be okay. Just let me help you. You follow his voice to find him kneeling on the ground next to a wounded Hawkeye. The scent of blood and animal fear colors the air. This knife glints as he pulls from its sheath. Don't worry, he says to the creature. I've got you. It won't hurt anymore. Real soon. A branch snaps under your foot and this hits your cup. His eyes go wide, but he doesn't greet you. Instead, he gestures for you to get a closer look at the Hawkeye. Its single leg is mangled beyond recognition from a hunter's snap trap, and it's bleeding heavily. It can only stare up at this, defeated in its 4 eyes. It struggles once more, then goes still from the excursion, wheezing miserably. They tell everyone they are humane traps, this murmurs. But humans lie, don't they? They lie all the time. The hunters won't be back to check the traps until tomorrow, this continues. Looking down at the Hawkeye with a grim expression, I'll put it out of its misery. I'll do it. He hands his knife to you and moves aside. You kneel and take the small terrified creature in your arms, and with one clean cut, slice through its neck. It tenses, twitching in fear, reflex, and goes limp. You hand the knife back to this. This is quiet at your side for a long time, breathing evenly in through his nose and out through his mouth. It's like he's meditating. It's better to die quickly than to suffer in a trap, but this shouldn't have been a trap in the first place, he says. Eventually, he clicks his tongue against his teeth. It's pointless. It was going to die eventually, but not here. Not natural. It's not the death part that bothers me, it's our vanity. Humans are afraid of extinction, so they kill indiscriminately to avoid it. This takes out a cloth and wipes the Hawkeye's blood off his blade. His movements slow and reverent. I used to let it control me too. I thought dying meant that living was pointless, he continues. But now, I know the truth. Life is short, and brutal, and hard. It's up to us to fill it with as many experiences as we can. Are we going to spend our life cooped up in the colony, subjugating nature because it strikes fear into our brains? He smiles faintly. Or are we going to get out there and live the only life we've been given? He looks down at the corpse of the Hawkeye and lays his hand gently against his head. You're all going to end up like this, in the end. There's no use denying it and letting the fear control our actions. All of them are pretty good answers actually. I've never thought about it like that. Isn't it obvious? This asks, looking at you. It's not like I'm out there throwing myself off cliff, but it's not something I let control me. He smiles genuinely. And because I don't fear death, I do so much more living. You should try it sometime. Dave lifts the Hawkeye's body into his arm and rises to his feet. The smell of death will attract animals right into the other traps, he says, and I'm not taking it back to the colony to be stuffed into a recycler. You have to take it to the woods and give it back to nature. You and this walk further into the forest in respectful silence, this cradling the dead Hawkeye against his chest. Eventually, he tells you to wait while he finds the track of predator and lay it down nearby. An offering the forest except without acknowledgement, he returns to you. Bloodstained and solemn. It's done, he says. You begin the walk back to the colony, though it's clear this is taking its time. After a few minutes of walking, he turns to you and grabs your arm, forcing you to stop and look at him. Scummo, he says, his eyes burning. Promise you won't let me end up like that, Hawkeye? At your questioning look, he squeezes your arm to the point that it almost hurt. If I'm trapped here, just let me go, okay? Promise. Disbelief breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Scummo. He stares at you for a few unnerving seconds, perfectly still, before jerking to motion and fishing a pendant necklace from his clothes. He unclasps it from his neck and holds it to you. Here, you should have this. I want you to have it. You turn and let him put it around your neck. The pendant is large, but surprisingly light. You recognize it as a fragment of unicorn horn. Its pearlescent colors shimmering in the light. Thank you, it's beautiful. I didn't make it, the unicorn did. I just put it on cord, but thank you. Disregards you with serious expression. You're the only person in this colony that I ever really care about, he says. I don't know why you bothered trying to be my friend, when I was trying to push everyone away. The small bends in a shy little smile. Thank you for sticking with it, he says softly. You don't know how much I appreciate having a friend here. He steps away and looks down at the ground and suddenly evasive. Listen, I don't know how much longer I have left here, he says softly. I just want you to know that I want to spend the time I do have with you. What does it mean like that? Like, of course that he doesn't want to be there, but at the same time, is it like he's being pressured to do that? Oh well. I need to domesticate my animal as well. But Nomi is at 84, so I need to do, you know, her activities. So this one, combat. Okay, if it's combat, I'll take it. Four. 8, 2. Okay. Wait. Nope. Okay, super goal. You chase the Vicky off and claim ownership of the dead animal. It's no prize, it's completely rotten, it's not even worth calling a VTuber team. What a waste. They say that there's an event here, they say boss event. Lumpy perception, find another way. Wait, Sim? A Bristol bug is rooting around its underbrush. It's like a little porcupine with no legs. Well, a little is a relative. Little is relative. It comes up to your waist and it must have been 100 kilograms. You've seen a few of these up at Geoponics. They are easy to catch. Their spines and berries naturally fall off and are edible. A cheery, renewable source of food. Kind of like jerky. Maybe you could catch this one? Catch it. Six, 7, 8. Maybe we don't need to use that. Okay. And this. Okay, super goal. Another Bristol bug for the geoponic barns. You're getting good at this. You call in retrieval team to pack up the animal and send it back to the colony. I told you Simon will be alive. You're taking a sample at the base of a tree when you feel something patter off your head and fall to the ground. Is it a nut? That's strange. This species doesn't usually. You look up and your stomach lurches when you realize you've been watched this whole time. A pair of familiar eyes peers down at you from the branches. It's Sim? It grins down at you. Well, if it isn't the little human, then you come to visit me, sugar bug. Who the hell? Sim's dead. Who the hell are you? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. Sim purrs. He cocked his head and as though puzzled. I'm symbiosis, same as ever. Have you gotten into that dizzy weed? If you did witness my death, I apologize, Sim continued. He leans down from his branch, his long hair dangling just out of reach. I imagine I didn't enjoy it much either. How can you just die and come back? It's a gardener thing, he replies, dismissively. He's so casual about it. I make regular backups just in case. Backups? Sim gives you a little smile. Surely by now you know I cannot divulge the specific of my role here. It doesn't stop you from hinting. Sim's smile grows wider and he thrills with laughter. I know. Oh, having a secret is much more gratifying than I expected it would be. I guess I'm happy you're alive. Sim sighed gratuitously. I wish everyone felt that, he mutters. One of my associates seems to feel otherwise. At your confused look, he waves at his hand. One of the other gunners knocked loose. They really don't care for humans, I'm afraid, and they are aware I've taken an interest in you. Sim drops gracefully out of the tree and dusts himself off. You're treading dangerous water by hunting the animals, he says. They become absolutely insufferable about it, and soon I won't be able to talk them down from taking matters into their own hands. He claps on the shoulder. Take that warning with the candor with which it was intended, Sim turns to leave, but you sputter and grab his sleeve. You can't, after all that. You deserve some real answers. Real ones, he owes you that. He turns to you, one arched eyebrow raised. What is it, kamu? What do you really do here? Sim gives you a blank stare. I'm a gardener, he says. I was created to be a gardener, and I imagine I'll be one until my services are no longer needed. At your look of confusion, Sim softens. Humanity is so concerned with purpose, he says sadly. It is because you were not created for one, and you spend the entirety of your short life under the impression of a unique one. The concept of someone having a purpose must be seductive. He shrugs one elegant shoulder. My existence is simple. I act in the ways for which I was created. This is not an interesting answer for an individualistic species as yourself. I'm aware. Perhaps we must both accept that it may be beyond human capacity to comprehend. Are you really Sim? The one and the same, Sim answers, carefully prying your hand from his clothing. I acknowledge this is difficult for you to understand. He takes a deep breath, considering his words carefully. Humans have but one short window of consciousness, which encourages you to think of yourself as an individual point on the line of history. You are quite clearly not your parents, or your grandparents, or your unborn children. You are your own marvelous creature. He places his hand on his chest. I do not disappear when this form dies. I am eternal, in a sense. I am all who came before, and I am all who will come after. I am my own legacy. I am symbiosis. He tilts his head to the side, as if listening to something, and squeezes your hand. I fear I've said too much. I hope I can see you again soon, and that all may be revealed to you. He talks to her again. Then suddenly appears from behind the marsh tree, which is like a magic creep because you could have sworn it was too narrow for Sim to fit behind. What can I do for you? Yeah, what for you? Egg. Sim examines your gift in great detail and asks various questions about where and when you found it. So he likes it, but you're not gonna get much, okay? Take it. We're gonna have a combat challenge. Fight. Okay. 6, 7, 8. Okay. Two to the last card. Two to the last card. Okay, win. +2 combat. Okay, done. Ooh, I got a lot of kudos. It's always like this. A loud termite-like insect crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination. A massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, breathing with life. The bugs are tending to the larvae nestled in the host of the sponge, which are feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. Oh, it's a squid-digger hive. The hive queen has chosen this spot to root herself to the ground. Her swollen abdomen forming a spongy-like hive that sustained all her children. We're a little afraid of her acid, but the royal jelly looks tasty. This one, I'll do it. I'll take it. Okay. Wait, maybe not. Oops. Okay, next. Nope, not worth it. Win. You get in there and squeeze out some jelly and from one of the hive queen's many holes, somehow managing not to get sprayed too badly by her acid. Some lands on your arm and the back of your hand and sizzles briefly, but you keep your calm long enough to escape your bounty. Freaky. Let's see this one here. Combat challenge. Combat. Oh. Okay. Put this. Okay. 7. 7. Okay. This 24. Now this is gonna be easy. 6, 3. Okay, super goal. Well, that wasn't too hard. You smack a couple of them to the ground, and the rest scuttle up to the boughs and hide there. You pop your chest out and bravely move on. Oh, this one. It's not that useful. Oh wait, before that, let's go up first. You come across a veritable feast of berry bushes. Glutey sagging bushes? Okay, biology. You already have it. You already maxed out, so we don't need. Not important. Okay, what do we have here? We find a healthy black bush. Oh, this one. Chew some lead leaves. Okay. Reduce stress. Try to capture one. Card becomes 4. Wait. Okay. Card becomes 4. 2 to final. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. And you're gonna be in the middle. 7. Super goal. Eventually you pick up one young female that looks underfed and moves more slowly than the others. She seems like an outcast. The others won't let her eat, and they keep chasing and harassing her. She should be easier to catch, and as malnourished as she is, maybe easier to tame. You get a lasso around her and hold her down while she whinnies in terror and releases a pissed ballast to try to get away. You're in the blast radius, but you hold firm. You are able to bob her along behind you, all the way back to the depot. Well, howdy, Utopia says, when you bring in the float cow. What do we have here? Why, you're a real cowboy, Scummo. I'm mighty jealous. She inspects the tired float cow. She looks like a little under the weather, Utopia proclaims. Just hoping we can nurse her back to health on the ranch. I'll take her back myself. You can come see her anytime in the geoponic. No. We'll go around. Okay. Curious bringing block your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up the trees and hanging upside down to get a different angle to look at you. I think we've read this last time. Okay, just go for the challenge. Okay, so we're gonna use red. Okay. Eagle eye. Okay. Next. 8, 8, 7. Wait. Okay, just go for it. Okay, done. So I think this is the one that we should. It's a relay, right? You spot Scribblenauts squealing between all our places. So mobile, but doing very close. Digging around the dirt here and there, looking the grass, possibly looking for a place to take food and live out the rest of the night. This might be an opportunity to capture a living hive. Maybe you could convince it to take root in one of the barns in the colony, giving the colony a source of honey without so much dangerous foraging. It spits out acid if it gets too close, and they have nasty powerful beaks. No wonder no one's managed to catch one. Just pick it up, toughen the challenge. Okay. Next. Value is wild, eh? Maybe... I'll use it later. Okay, next. Three, 4, 5. Okay, super goal. That's 3 toughness. You call in a hover bike and hoist it onto the sled. The sweet eagle hive grows and clenches its side. From all the holes comes a fine mess of acid. It's noxious and awful, overloading your mass filter and masking your eye sting. It eats through one of the gloves and you have to rip it off quickly, lest you lose some fingers. You're really wondering if this thing should be brought to the center colony, but you can almost taste the sweet honey that will be your reward. And once it expels the mist, it takes a few hours to recharge. In that time, you make it back to the checkpoint. Okay. Your dad meets you at the gates to receive the queen, your majesty, he jokes, bowing neatly. I'll make sure that she gets settled in, he says to you. Come by and visit her anytime you want. Go home. As usual for this time of year, your dreams have been more vibrant and invasive. You have trouble distinguishing dream from reality during the day, and you dread falling asleep at night. Huh? How did that hop back into your bedroom? wake yourself out from the dream. You resist the temptation to chase the little hotpie and instead lay back down in bed, telling yourself to wake up. Wake up. It works. Milky, quiet sunlight pours through your window, flakes of bromide snow piling up against the glass. You feel as tired as you went to bed. It's your birthday, you're 19 years old, only one more year as a teenager. Okay. I feel like I should go and survey. But before that, I may wanna do some stuff. First, let's check the depot. Let's just get this drone rifle. Maybe not. Okay, Tammy beams when she sees you, like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Scummer, she exclaimed. She comes you her annual birthday hug, throwing her arms around you and giving you a great big squeeze. Here, I got you this. She steps back and reaches into one of her many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper bag. I made you this, she laughs, opening it up to reveal a little snack-sized cake. You take a bite. Okay, so this one here we can share. Maybe we should go for empathy a little bit. I mean, to the spa. Let's see which cards are not that useful. Futurism. This one's not that useful. Delete. Hotpie as well. This one is very hard to use, but it's not that impossible. Forget. This one is also I want to take these two out, you know. Well, we should. Forget. This is not bad, but you need to have cards with gems. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. So now we're gonna go out again, but this time we're gonna go to the ridge. Survey the ridge. And afterwards, either we go to the farm or we do Nomi Nomi, which I think I should do Nomi Nomi's one. Cross the bridge very carefully. Let's see this one here. Find another way around it. Wait. Maybe I do need to investigate this. The strange heat haze shimmering across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get closer. The mirage effect is very strong. The reflected air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around it. But something is just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why. Investigate. Okay. Swallow this. Okay. Okay, four. Okay, super goal. Perception +5. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do, you realize that what is wrong with the mirage? It's impossible. The plants on the other side have haze of the haze are different. Not just wibbly wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger and older. And it's different time of day, evening, not morning. Then you see him. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, and he isn't there. You can only see him through the heat haze, like it's some kind of doorway, a mirror. Pull up. You shout, "Hey you!" and wave your arms and jump up and down. The figure looks at you curiously. You! It's definitely you. 100% you, staring back at you like a mirror. Your movement seems to disturb the mirage, which breaks up and fades before you. Behind it is a regular morning, and you are now alone again. Weird. Let's try something else. Let's try something else. Let's try something else. Wait, like this. Huh. I don't remember it like this. Oh well. I think that's good enough. Then you see him, this one, jump through the mirage. You take a running leap and jump through the heat haze. You're surprised to find yourself on the other side alone, and with everything looking very normal. You turn around, the heat haze is gone. It's still morning. That's weird. This time I'm gonna go for just watch. Maybe there's something different. Let's see. Like this. Okay, this. There it is. Super cool. Then you see him, just watch. You just stare at the figure, that person who looks and moves exactly like you. When you both slowly, carefully approach the mirage, and like mirror image, you both raise one arm, your right and his left, touch them together. Then the other one says something, but you can't hear. You can only see their lips move. Is it important? A message from the other you? You're desperate to know, but the mirage fades. Nothing. Okay, this one here, find the source. Okay, go over here. You're walking along the ridge line when your foot knocks some rocks down the slope. You anticipate the familiar clatter. Ah, this one is like exploding. Onward, bravery challenge. Okay. You can get +2. Wait, should be like this. Well, either way, it's the same. I don't want to get stressed, you know. Okay, good. Put this one here. Okay. That's 2 bravery. You float forward, allowing yourself to rise higher and higher. We've done this several times. Okay. We went through that one a couple times already. I think like 4 times around on stream. This one is investigate a weird squeaking noise, eventually following it to its source. A whole swarm of bound weasels are gathered on the cliff above you. You watch them as they throw their tiny bodies onto the ridge. This one here. This one I don't want. I don't want that thing. But it takes time. When we reload, we're gonna totally ignore it. What is this strange device? The sun goes behind a cloud, and you feel a light splatter of rain. This one. It's the float cows. Both of the choices give bad results. And we're probably gonna meet Stem here, I think. This one move on. But it's still gonna cause some stress. Like I say, I want to avoid stress as much as possible. Okay, the Stem. Give me a second. I'll check this out. Oh. Okay, this one we can ignore. Same thing. Same materializes out of the forest before you. Skamu, he says gravely, forgive my directness, but you must come with me now. He places his hand on your shoulder. Please trust me when I say I have done my best to argue on behalf of your kind. I hope only for the continued survival of humanity. Ominous. They crouch down to slide into a hidden opening under the roots of a tree. You follow, feeling strangely as if you are crawling into the belly of some animal. You emerge into a cave filled with hum of strange machinery. A bank of ancient-looking control panels and a crystal tank of glowing liquid seems almost to have thrown out of the natural rock. Mineral deposits from moisture trickling down the walls have reclaimed some of them. Tim leads you to the console. This is the array, he says, pressing what seems to be buttons. As I've explained, this body I wear is only a vessel. My consciousness, the person who I am, is stored in the array. I return to it regularly, storing my body in regeneration tank while I back up what I've learned that day into the array. Physical forms are prone to injury and death, Sim says quietly. It is temporary but highly unpleasant. Therefore, the Overseer prefers to remain in the array. Tim directs you to 2 weirdly fungal growths. Please, take hold of these interfaces handle. You cautiously touch the handle and say, so the Overseer is a computer. The word software is to be more accurate. A strange presence speaks in your head. Very cool. You can feel the Overseer's pause, then a sensation in your mind that reminds you of someone clearing their throat. I am the Overseer, the voice continues. I speak for the Gardeners. We will now show you what we are. I'm ready. You have the oddest feeling of memories being inserted into your mind. First a trickle, then a flood. A civilization called Convergent Domain once existed on this planet over 20,000 years ago. In your mind, you see their dominion stretched from pole to pole, their farms and solar arrays glittering on the surface and their massive cities tunnel below. I already know about the domain. We are aware of that, the Overseer replied, its voice dry in your mind. We know most everything that happens on this planet. The convergent domain created gardeners as their ecological control system, a vast network of artificial intelligence stored deep underground in a digital array. Self-propagating control towers and cloning stations were seeded, allowing gardener programs to take biological form, downloading a copy of his conscience into a host body created to suit the task at hand. You think of Sim, his body created to suit the task of befriending you. So that's why Noctilucent, he looks very alienish, but Sim, he looks human. So most probably, like what I think, it's like Sim maybe like take some DNA samples and try to merge himself and be more human, or like he shaped it, you know. Give me a second. Under the direction of convergent domain, we gardeners control the weather, the acidity of the soil, the cultivated species in their farms, and the rapidly shrinking wild areas of the planet. So in other words, what they are saying is like the gardeners are like the AIs, or like, I don't want to say robot, okay, because like robots like mean like they don't have the ability. Okay, you say they're not sentient, but Sim, and I assume that the rest of the gardeners like Noctilucent, they are sentient, well, AI. Yeah, I do think that they are more AI, a high working AI at that. The Overseer doesn't quite sigh, but you get the impression it would. Over time, the domain nearly destroyed this planet. They didn't respect nature? Correct, the Overseer responded. They saw the natural world as an unending buffet of resources. The exhaust from their factories blanketed the planet, choking out sunlight and oxygen. They consumed too much, destroyed the planet's ecosystem, then fought bitterly over the remaining resources. Repeat? The last directive from the gardeners were given by the domain was to repair the planet's destroyed ecosystem. The Overseer says solemnly. The gardeners tried, but it was too late. When the crops failed and atmosphere became too thick for sunlight to pierce, the convergent domain perished by the billion. The last survivor took to the sky in calling ships and never returned. They tried to imagine a tragedy on this scale, but it's just too enormous, too abstract to wrap around your head. Why is it hard? You know about what happened on Earth. The Overseer continues relentlessly, new thoughts flooding into your mind. Over the millennia, the gardeners took their task seriously. It takes little effort to render a planet inhospitable, but significant dedication to restore it. Under the guidance of the gardeners and the final directive of the convergent domain, nature at last reclaimed the barren planet. The garden existed in perfect balance, and now your species has made it in. We had nowhere else to go. Yokai had the option to stay where they were, the Overseer replies. The tone of its thoughts darkening. Do you think we have empathy for the convergent domain who fled on colony ships? The one who selfishly refused to give their bodies back to the planet when they destroyed it with their pride? You chose to came here, the Overseer continues, and you continue to stay here. You could instead choose to die. You shuddered involuntarily. Some mature species have a technique of future sight, which the gardeners harness to catch glimpses into the web of timeline. Huh? Wait. What? Some mature species have acquired the technique of future sight? We see that you possess this technique too, alone in your kind. We have foreseen that humans pose a great danger to this planet. You are a monoculture, invasive species. You throw our hard-won balance in disarray. Since arriving, you have shown nothing but willingness to consume the planet's resources and replace them with more humans. We didn't even know you were here. You tell the Overseer that your parents didn't know. They told you long-range scans said the planet was unpopulated. You get the impression the overseer is scoffing at you. Is this an argument in your favor? That you would feel guiltless in destroying Vertuna's natural habitat if there were no sentient species to claim ownership of it? The gardeners do not own the planet, the overseer tells you. We are the planet. Most gardeners would prefer to stamp you humans out like encouraging weeds, the overseer says, without malice. Indeed, we have tried using ecological compliant organic methods. We are impressed at your tenacity to withstand these eradication procedures. The yearly attacks, the famine, the pollen, not random natural occurrences at all. The gardener's tactics to encourage the eradication of pests. But symbiosis speaks in defense of your kind, the overseer continues, and took effort to convince you that you were sentient and capable of communication. They present us with a quandary. You come from the stars, a refugee of a catastrophe of your own design, one that you are intent to recreate here, on a planet which still bears the scars of the last time it was used carelessly. So we ask, what are we to do with you? Human can change. Help us. So we teach your kind to be stewards of nature? This overseer replied. Perhaps your children take up the mantle as well, and their children. But soon, you are dead. As are your children's children. Generation past, no one alive remembers the time the gardeners came to the humans and taught them the proper ways to live. And now there are too many of you to teach, and your behavior is too entrenched. What then? Genocide? You have no answer. There is silence in your head. You only hear the sound of water trickling down the cave walls and gentle hum of the machine. Eventually, the overseer speaks in your mind one last time. For now, you may leave freely. We will consider this quandary and will be monitoring you and the other humans. You feel a strange pull at your consciousness as you remove your hands from the interface. There you have it, Sim murmurs. That is my boss. Your boss needs to get out more. Sim huffs like he's afraid to laugh. He walks over and runs his hand over the console, and now you know how to connect to the array, he says quietly. But you should not come here unless I am with you. Sim takes your hands and looks at you solemnly. When you interface with the array, you hold everything we are in your hands. It took a great deal of negotiating to convince my fellow gardeners to trust you with this power. Please do not prove this trust mistaken. Okay, give me a second. Let's sim. All construct. AI construct. Sim nods as you approach. Just the human I wanted to see, he says with a solemn smile. The overseer would like to speak to you again. Sim leads you to the same cave as before. Nothing has changed, and you get the impression that nothing much does change here. You place your hands on the handles of the array and wait. We have thought over our conversation. You feel the overseer in mind. We consider that symbiosis may be corrupt and in need of reabsorption, but his affection for your species is genuine. So we have offered to make of you. Give me a second. Humans feel godlike powers but lack the capacity to understand the consequences of their actions, the overseer explained. You have no connection to the land you claim, beyond the short, brutal window of your own consciousness. How often is this? We will not eradicate your colony. Instead, you'll be tended to, just as the gardeners tend to the rest of the planet. You'll be given fresh water, clean air, and good soil, and be protected from outside harm. In exchange, humans will stay within their colony and limit their population growth so as to maintain the balance within their habitat. You will not leave the territory to procure more resources. You will cease all hunting, logging, and expansion outside the valley. What, like a human nature reserve? More or less, the overseer responds. You are a curiosity to us as well as the sentient species. We would like to preserve you without endangering the ecological balance of the planet. Now, you will go and convince the others of your species to agree to a compromise. I refuse to help. You will help the overseer state because it is better to live a quiet, dignified life in harmony with nature than to die screaming in your beds after we unleash a neurotoxic gas into your colony. The overseer pauses to let the threat sink in. You wonder if it's a bluff, or you are only alive because the gardeners tried more organic pest control methods first. An envoy will visit in glow season to discuss it formally. It continues. To be clear, an armed envoy. We trust you will change your mind by then. Sim looks worried as you remove the hands from the array. I fought hard for them to consider options other than eradication, he says, wringing his hand. I beg of you to reconsider. Your people will not have a better chance at survival. As Sim leads back to the surface, you quietly wonder at him. This man, or rather ancient artificial intelligence something of a man, has pushed his directives to the limit to help humanity. His interest started with mere curiosity, but over time, he came to love human and value your survival. Has he made a mistake? Damn it. Utopia. Utopia has sent a team of geologists to get a closer look at the region's weird terrain. You come across them working, and Utopia, this one, they call. Straight of finding some gardener's array. The what now? Utopia asked. I never heard of that, he says. And the geologists all exchange similar look. You explain the convergent domain had this huge computer network, and some of it is still running. It was used to study and maintain the planet. It might even be dangerous. Utopia doesn't look convinced. I'm not one to throw out a theory, but that's pretty far-fetched, Kamu. All we see are the ruins. He squints and thinks over. Well, if that's true, maybe something went wrong with this array, and it overloaded all the solar crystals. That level of cataclysmic disaster is the sort of thing that might end up a civilization. One of them talked, and his name is Sim. Oh, Utopia says, pointed as if you remembering that you are that scammer. The one with that weird dream. Honey, them aliens have been dead for millennia, he says gently. They are like dinosaurs, extinct. Some of the technology might still be running, but they are long dust, he says. I know how the imagination does run wild, but there's enough real mysteries out here, without adding your own. She claps you on your shoulder. Your parents wouldn't appreciate me humoring you anymore. Sorry, kiddo. I've done so much for the colony, and like they treat me like this. By the way, I get annoyed with this. Like, why did they put silent? Large pile of obsidian. I think we've gone through this. I'm gonna go for the bravery challenge. 8, 4, 3. Okay. Four, 5. This. Okay. 8, 6. Okay, super goal. That's 3 bravery. Enjoy yourself. Okay. Like, we have a choice right now, either to like, I really don't like the fact that we are gonna be we're gonna be put into like a position where we are like a zoo, or we're gonna have to fight them. Why can't we just, make them understand us? Utopia sent this and you to study a large crystal outcropping. Up close you can tell that these are more than convergent domain solar panels. They are angular and hard to the touch, but they have some sort of sponginess and warmth to them, and that's a little disconcerting. They emit a humming noise. Take a look at the alien solar panels. What a fascinating combination of biology and engineering, truly remarkable. You take readings and collect data for Utopia, being grateful not to break any. Maybe someday the colony could figure out how to harness electricity. Okay, we read that the last time. crystal. Radiation warning. Turn alarm, but I can go straight. Take it. Jump. Okay, this one stay for a while. Jump. Give me a second. Not. This one, the massive creature. We don't need to. Oh, I'm sneezing a lot. Nothing. Okay. You and this are exploring the ruined wormhole observatory again. It feels so familiar. You dreamt about this place many times and it's like you're just remembering it all now. This time, dream memories grips you. You wander as if you sleep walking down a familiar path. You look up and see the wormhole fade in the sky above. This time, the time is right to observe it. This tries to keep up. Where are you going? He asks angrily. You don't answer. You try to concentrate on finding the place. You approach a large pyramid in the center of the complex. Beside it is one of the smaller elevators, a little monolith with a round iris door. This is the place. Your head throbs with it. Even standing outside, you know there's something down there. Find a way in. You look for one of the elevator monoliths near the pyramid and find it, but it's overgrown with sneaking vines and brambles, with very large flowers all over. You could push through them, but this stops you. Shows you a Geiger counter reading on his holopalm. These flowers seem to be radioactive. Your suit won't protect you for long. Neutralized. Pass on by, no problem. Good thing you studied these plants earlier and know it's really very. Tickle it just so the radioactive flower flows. It's fast to let you through. You enter the elevator, thankfully still working, and descend beneath the ground. It opens to some kind of antechamber room with an exit at the end, leading to the heart of the pyramid. There are glyphs carved into crystal panels on the walls, symbols that resemble the wormhole. You start across the room. The further you go, the more your head swims. You have to pause. You think you might faint. You shake the idea and try to clear it. Wait, maybe this is a bad idea. Need stress than 100. Keep going. The fog slowly clears from your eyes. Your head still hurts, but you can think again. This looks concerned, even going as far as reaching out to you to steady you. Are you okay? Try to explain it to this. It's hard to put into words. You just say, my head hurts. Obviously, but he says. But no, it's more than that. You're seeing things. It's kind of like the array, and kind of like a dream. But you feel something is super important up ahead, and you need to see it. Maybe we better leave, this says nervously. You don't look so good. Keep going. Past the antechamber, it's a long hallway sloping down. Things around you are starting to look kind of weird, like two slightly different realities overlapping. This phase is starting to phase in and out. You're hit with a strong wave of dizziness and nausea. Things seems to move in slow motion, but also far too fast. You lean over and concentrate mind over matter. You keep on going. At the bottom of the hallway are more crystal panels on the walls. Many faces broken, or are they whole? The walls have crumbled and roots creep over everything, but also they don't. Every time you blink, the room seems to flip and swim between the two realities. At the same time, you feel absolutely compelled to continue. What is this place? This is both there and not there. The part of him which exists is concerned. We need to leave now. He says, this place is hurting you. There's a round iris door at the end of the hall. Are you sure you want to go any further? One more room. You pass through the doorway into a large square chamber with a sloping ceiling. The sense of this place. The vibration is telling you this must be directly under the big pyramid up on the surface. The floor or even the air is crowded with vibrating energy. Ugh, even I can feel it now too. This one is behind you, rubbing his head. The room is empty except for a raised platform in the middle, which looks enticingly like a bed, which is convenient because you're definitely going to faint this time. You collapse onto the platform and are overcome by a spectacular migraine headache. It feels like your head is going to explode. Okay, focus on the pain. Okay, we leave this for later. Five. Okay. At the end, 6. Well, reduce stress, much better. Okay, win. 5 stress. You slip into some kind of waking dream, layers upon layers of visions. This is lower. Is your lover, or Mars, or Tammy. You're a boy, and a girl, or both, and neither. Young and old, a farmer, a hunter, politician. You're dead, and you're alive, and you've never been born. Time unravels before you, an infinite tapestry crumbling whenever you look. It's all weird. Bravery, empathy. You see the web of possibilities and understand what time truly is. It's all happening at once, and none of it will ever happen. It's only sheer chance that any one possibility comes to existence, not any intrinsic truth of the universe or fate. It's just a glimpse, probably over in a second, but a glimpse of an eternity you can hardly fathom. Then you see the wormhole, enormous in a starry sky. You look down and see yourself on a plateau, gazing up at it. You recognize the place. A null bluff not far from the colony, alive with the phosphorescence of glow season. This youth seems expectant, as if waiting for something momentous to arrive, something that will change everything. The vision is crystal clear, you feel in control. And in a way you haven't since you started having these visions. You know you must go there. You wake up feeling refreshed. Your headache is gone. You're still dizzy, but the room has stopped spinning and has returned to one singular reality again. The vibrations are stilled. This fills your vision. Skamu, he exclaimed. Are you okay? Tell this what you saw. He listens in awe and then in dejection as you describe your vision. Why didn't I see it? He sighs. I was here too. I want to know everything. Tell me about your dreams. You tell this about how not only did you see all the visions, but that you believe they are real. You live them, or some of them anyway. They are as real as the life you are living now. He listens intently, then nods. I believe you, he says simply. You look at him in shock, but then he just reaches out and puts his hand over yours. I know what it's like when people don't. I'm not going to do that to you. You don't know what any of this means, yet you're one step closer to figuring it out. You feel like you just had some kind of mega prophecy, but it was too much all at once, and too hard to understand. Would the convergent domain handle this kind of information? Would they remember past lives like you? Is that what this room, this observatory, was meant for? Okay, unlock explore glow in expedition. The only thing you remember clearly from the vision is the image of yourself during glow season, standing at the top of the Northway bluff just outside the colony, waiting for something. Go home. Perception engineering. You wake to the sound of your whole palm shimmering with the new incoming messages. You literally tap into your inbox, squinting into the bright light. Dr. Isa says you're all going to ruin your eyesight by 30 if you stare at your holopark all the time, but Dr. Isis has never been a teenager on an alien planet, so what does she know? OMG, is this supposed to be you? Your friends with Nomi, correct? Tell them not to clog up the colony message board with their art. Your stomach sinks as you go to the colony message board and find new post from Nomi, entitled "You Know Who You Are." You click it. The post contains a single image attachment depicting two people embracing while riding a unisaur. Nomi has drawn hearts floating all around them. One is clearly Nomi's Legend of Evermore character, and the other, well, it could be you. But looking at it, it could be Rex as well. You look for more information, but there is none. Strange. You close your holofarm and get ready for the start of your day. Done. I think she's here. It's not? Nomi. Okay, this is a chance to romance her, okay? Nomi looks up at the holo screen and smiles when they see you enter the lounge. Hey, it's Gamu. Nice day, huh? So that picture you posted. Put their status down. Oh, okay, sure. Like, the correct one is this, but like, you can change and say that it could be us. It's a picture of you and me, isn't it? Nomi looks stunned. They close their lips and look down at their holo screen, blushing furiously, and don't respond. What? Wait. That's despair. And the reporters. Come on. I want to break out you. Really? Why? I'm just not feeling it. It's okay, Tanya replies, seemingly unbothered. I find my work more interesting than you anyway. Because Tangent is gonna dump us anyway. I've went through this. Picture you posted. You and me, isn't it? Nomi, I like you too. Nomi gasps and leaps up to the front. OMG, they exclaim. Hands slide to their cheek. Did you think it was a picture of you? It was to be a picture of Rex, they groan, dragging their hands down to their face. Oh no, what if he also thought it was you? He hasn't liked the post yet. Nomi flops against the back of the couch and curls up into a ball, kicking their feet in the air. I don't know what to do, they wail. He's so cool, and not just cool, he's so nice and helpful. I help you a lot also as well. They look away embarrassed. I mean, I have eyes, you know. Even I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff. I know he's super galactic hottie too. He's like an 1100,000 gajillion out of 10. Nomi grabs a pillow and hugs him to their chest. He's my best friend in the whole entire universe. I love him, right? And he loves me. But I don't know what that means. What if I dated Rex for real? They take a deep breath and hide their face against the pillow, but he really likes, you know, okay, mother, sex stuff. I don't think you two are compatible. Nomi throws their head back in frustration, but I really like him. He's so good and he makes me feel... Mars, who's in the lounge painting her nails, perks her head and listens curiously. Nomi shrinks into themselves and lower their voice. Sometimes I think about kissing Rex, they confess, picking up at a loose thread of the pillow. And it makes me feel kinda weird, but in a good way. I just feel like if it was ever gonna be anyone for me, Rex is a pretty good choice, right? Nomi continues. What do you think, Scamo? This has bad idea written all over it. Nomi heaves a big sigh and goes uncharacteristically quiet for a few long minutes. You're probably right, they mutter and rub their eyes. I can't really keep up with someone like Rex. He deserves someone who can make him happy, right? Nomi picks up the stylus and twirls in their fingers. Thanks for keeping my head straight, Kamal. At least I didn't embarrass myself trying. Wait. Did I make her? wait. Let's check. Shit. Picture posted. I like you too. I don't think you two are compatible. Bad idea written all over it. Dang it. Like, we have to change her. We need to notch her to us, but then we don't have much. In other words, we need to raise up her events. For that, I need to give presents to everybody. Well, Tammy. Present, flower. Ooh, can talk. When you see Tammy stumbling down the path from the depot, struggling to carry a large wooden box, give her a hand. Oh. Let's just read. You jog over and take one side of the box. Oh hi, Tammy chirps. Thank you. It's not heavy, just awkward, and together you carry it easy to crush. Tammy sets the box down inside the lounge and smooths out her skirt. Goodness, she exclaimed. There's more and more in this box every year. He reaches into the box and pulls out a floppy-headed puppet. Oh kindness, they were always my favorite, Tammy says, stroking its long pink hair. Do you remember putting on Gratitude Day skits when we were kids? It's hard to forget. Once a year on the stratospheric, all the adults would cook a big meal and talk about how grateful they were for things like oxygen recycler working, and babies being born, and the kids would put on a puppet show about the beginnings of the Tuna project. All the puppets had allegorical meanings like kindness, or courage, or curiosity. Remember, some years we could get a little creative with the details. You heard adults talk about how there used to be a similar feast back on Earth. But whenever you are asked about it, all they say is that way they do it now is way better for some reason. You nod and Tammy smiles. Oh. I just came from a roleplay that I was working with someone else, only to find that they leave out the entire chat. What do you mean? Like, you're playing online, Avery? D&D? Playing D&D with your friends, something like that? You nod and Tammy smiles fondly as she pulls out more puppets. Oh, here's hope and resilience too. And that's ironic. Resilience needs a little bit of love before she's ready for the stage. Tammy rushes her fingers over Resilience's loose button eyes. I think Anemone was the very best Resilience, she says thoughtfully. Do you remember when she and Mars both wanted to play Resilience, so they drew straws and Anemone had to play the Ingenuity? Just text. Basic role-playing. Okay. She was great at breaking stuff. She was great at breaking stuff. Oh my gosh, I thought Tangent was going to light up Anemone on fire with her mind, Tammy exclaimed, pressing her hand to her cheeks. She always wanted to be Ingenuity. What was your favorite part? Tammy's cheeks darkened. I like working on the set and the puppet with Cal, she says, touching her fingertips to her lips. I was too worried I would mess up my lines. Said Talia. Like, this game here, we're at the end, okay? The end of this year, we're gonna be, this end of the year is the end of the game for this run, okay? Like, I prepared the next run already, which is the Governor run, which is at age 18, so we have 2 years. Maybe I'll get into it after this. They could have at least given me one so I could save. So how many are you playing that game? Do you remember this song about Earth? He never sang the same lyrics twice, Tammy says. Then sighs. I was so sad when he stopped wanting to take part. I wonder what happened. And when the puppet stage collapsed, Tammy gasped. And we all have to stand there and act out like it was a play. Oh no, that was the worst. Those were fun times. Tammy folds her hands over her heart and sighs. I'm so happy we still have all these old dolls. Some of the littlest kids don't even know we can do this. I can't wait to teach them. Okay. You did it online over Discord or something? Okay, hug. I think there's nothing else that I can do now. Like I say, maybe I'll be going for empathy event. I hope it can trigger. So empathy. Let's see tutoring. Nope. Repair robot? Nomi. Okay. Nomi is assigned to work with you in the robotics lab this month. At first, you're happy for the help, but it quickly becomes clear that they are more interested in unreasonable fancies like building giant robots to defend the colony. I saw it in anime. They chatted as you show them how to ground yourself before working with sensitive electronics. It's totally cool. We just have to... Perhaps it's better to master the basics first. Nomination. Congruence pitches in smoothly. For example, there's a vacuum board awaiting repair to its intake and output valves. You know, without looking, it's Wally. Yep, your problematic little buddy sitting in the first way. You pull up the work requisition on your holopalm. Looks like there are reports it's been spewing out dirt instead of vacuuming up. Typical. Not to worry, little buddy. Nomi says excitedly. We'll fix you right up and get you on your way again. They peer into the sensors. Maybe a few upgrades? Maybe it's blowing out dirt? Maybe it doesn't want to be a vacuum board anymore. They look at it hopefully. Creativity 40. I want to do this. Let's just fix it. Okay. I think I want to go for the creativity. That way I can increase Nomi's one. So we're gonna equip the brain trainer to give me extra creativity. Repair robots. We could make it a gardening bot. The domesticated bots were designed to be adaptable, with modular parts that can be swapped between units if they needed to for other purposes, or to combine ones that break down beyond repair. Nomi's right, maybe he doesn't want to be a vacuum bot anymore. You have Nomi fit it with water tank instead of vacuum bag, and get Congruence to swap its software for a gardening module. Now it's able to do basic chores around the greenhouse. Nomi watches the robot toddle off with an inscrutable expression. That was a happy ending, they proclaim, wearing a lock of their pink hair around their finger. It's nice that even Bot can try a few things before figuring out what it wants to be when it grows up. Repairing vacuum bot. Push through. Next month. Okay, take this out, put this in. Okay. Nomi's at 87 now. At 87, we're just gonna go around and look for collectibles. I can give her a gift now. And her birthday is not this season. Yeah, I think I should give it to her now. A present for you. Strange device. Oh yeah, before that, let's go to command. Bring the overseer deal to Governor Lum. Governor Lum is staring into space, but snaps out of it as you enter the room. What is it, colonist? Tell him about the overseer's offer. Lum rolls his eyes. Scummer, buddy. There's no sentient life on Earth. We're it. Whatever you've seen out there, it's not like us. We are the rightful rulers of this planet, he continues. I'm not going to let some old garbage computer program stand between us and our destiny. He clenches his fist. We will find a way to destroy them. They are more dangerous than you think. No, never doubt humanity's strength, Scummer. He grins coldly. It's a good thing I'm the governor of this colony, not some coward like you, like one of you Stratos. He dismisses you, but he might have a point. Posing as the governor would solve a lot of problems. You know Mars will be on board. Okay, give me a second. Maybe I need to. Okay, I think I screwed up. But never mind, I can loot. Give me a second. This time I'm gonna talk about Sim. Start by telling him about Sim. You ramble on everything about a man who is not a man, an ancient civilization, a planetary consciousness spanning millennia, underground chambers where the dead return to life. Lum faced confronted with us through a series of emotions, confusion, unease, and was that guilt? Then he burst out laughing. This is better than the home of it, he says cheerfully. A purple man who is also a computer? Did you dream all of this? You should write it down. Oh wait, I remember, he says, shaking his finger at you as well. He would drop on your head when you were a baby, right? You're a little... He taps his head. Touch. Listen, you're a good kid, he says, which is why I'm not having you restricted to the med bay until you snap out of this fantasy. Lum claps on you on the shoulder and gets down close to your face. You can smell his breath. Take some time off, Scummer, for your own good. You don't know what will happen if you go around and tell people about talking aliens, but they are real and offering a deal. He barks another laugh and pats you on the head. Deal making is for grown-ups, Scummer. Let your governor worry about stuff like that and you go back playing make-believe with your friends. If only he wasn't the governor. Oh boy. Then it's a bit too late already. Okay, give me a second. I think somebody's calling me. Give me a second. Oh my god, I think it's a scam call. Like, I don't even have a card or a bank account with this bank, and like they call. Oh boy. Give me a second, I just want to check something. Wait, what? Oh shit. I think I need to do something with it seems that this is why I hate doing this. Like I just checked my email. It seems that I was charged to my you know that there are websites that they say, okay, free trial, but then they ask you for your credit for your card number. The thing is, they say it's like a free 1 month trial, but the thing is that I've only signed up for the 1 month trial. I didn't I want to try it out, but now it charged me a full for the full year plan. After this, I'm gonna have to check out with it again. Oh my god. I really hate because I really want to try it out, so that's why I check it out. But for them to automatically charge it to my account, I just can't accept it, you know. Seriously. That's why like until now I don't want to like until now I don't want to like use something that actually asks for a credit for your card. It's very annoying. Okay, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, not me. Just thinking about it makes me angry. Okay, Normie, maybe studying engineering? Nope. Let's see. Repair robot. Okay. When he's not on expedition, this sometimes hangs out in the robotics lab with you. He always felt more of a kinship with the bots, you guess. No squishy feeling or complex social interaction. They just do what they are programmed to do. You watch a strange friendship blossom between him and Nomi, like crow and hummingbird. They bond over mutual love of both robotics and xenofauna. It's kinda cute that two nerds from each ship found each other, despite their clear personality differences. Nomi working today and has asked this to test a new prototype for what they describe as the next generation in functional, fashionable exploration wearables. It looks like the robotics exoskeletons used for the construction crew, but dial up with comic propulsion with full missile launchers and a jetpack. I saw it in anime, they say, strapping this into the suit. It's super going to work. Okay, take a few steps. This looks at you with a panic expression. He takes a few faltering steps, immediately straining the balance servos. The whole rig squeals as he lifts off balance and tries to regain it, but he caught in a positive feedback loop balance recalibration that only makes it worse. These mechanically augmented limbs swing around wildly, knocking over a rack of bots and sweeping to the floor. You and Nami scream and dive for cover. Not like this, Nami exclaims. This, turn it off. You turn it off, this yells back. I'm stuck in this thing. Nami pulls up the controls for the suit on their holopalm and activates the kill switch mid-rampage. This crumples to the ground in a heap of dusty limbs. You extract him from the wreckage. Nami takes a shot, but this just smiles and pats them on the shoulder. It's okay, Nami. This is why I never try very hard, especially when other people might see. You should try anyway. Learning new things is fun, and getting better at stuff is fun. You tell Nami they'll learn more from their mistakes than from their success. There has to be something I'm good at though, Nami replies. Everyone else is super good at something. I can't wait to find my thing. The fact that she might have, she doesn't know her augment, makes her, a bit uncomfortable. You directed them to work on safer things like cleaning up the lab. This and Nami work well together. You can't help but listen to their easy banter as they work. Nami could charm a smile out of a rock, but it's still surprising how well this responds to them. Like, even he doesn't quite understand the inexplicable pull Naomi exerts on him. Get to work. Okay. Push through. Yep, push through. Nami. Okay, event with Nami. Gently wake them up. You tap Nami on the shoulder and they blink awake, frowning as they rub their sleep drool from their cheek. What? What's happening? Oh hey you, they say, stretching their arms and legs and settling into a more comfortable position. I guess I fell asleep while working on my holo novel. They frown again and poke listlessly in their holo screen. I just closed my eye for a cool nanosecond. Guess I was more zonked than I thought. There's so much to write still, and it feels like it'll never be done. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, Nami starts, dragging their feet to scroll through the lines of script on their whole screen. See, the thing is, I'm too tired to get any good work done, but if I'm not working, I just feel guilty. So I don't let myself do anything actually fun, because I should be writing. They flick their fingers so the text grow faster, then put their chin in their hand. So I end up staring at my hollow palm and chatting with people because it's all I have the energy for, which doesn't make me feel any better. Then I just feel even more guilty because I wasted all that time. Do you want a cuddle? Tommy sits up straight and blinks at you. Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds really nice. They scoot over in your chair and you fall yourself into the space. You take Nomi in your arms. They sigh carefully. Hold up, is it cuddle time? The Rex. Somehow it's no surprise that Rex has this innate ability to detect cuddles. He diverts from simply passing through the lounge and inserts himself in the cuddle, wrapping his arm around Nomi's light frame. His head tickles up under Nomi's armpit and they giggle. I never pass up a good chance for a good cuddle. You, Rex, and Nomi lay in each other's arms for a good long while, and you can even feel your own stress slowly float away. How's the game going, Nom Star Runner? It's going, Nomi replies. There's a lot left to do. Sometimes I wonder if I got too ambitious like I usually do. Rex rubs his face against Nomi's stomach. That's what I love the most about you. You got this, he says. You'll be done when you finish it, and no one expects it a nanosecond earlier. Thanks, friendo, Nomi says. You're right. There's no sense pushing myself to meet fake deadlines. I should focus on making the best game possible and not stressing about it. They sigh again and sink into your embrace. Thank you too. Thanks you too. Sometimes I get too in my head and being anxious about whether people like the stuff I make. Being held by two best friends in the whole universe reminds me what's really important. Nomi pushes herself back up into a sitting position and drapes their legs over Rex's thighs. Okay, they exclaim, opening the hollow screen. I think I'm ready to get ready. I think I'm ready to get back to work. Do your best. Nomi laughs and shoots you a double piece. Thanks, I will. Okay. Perch up on the fence, swinging their legs as they watch colleague life go by. Okay, this one here, I think I should just give her the present now. How much? 94. A bit more. I think one more event with her will be enough. Actually, let's talk to our parents first. If we can bring it up about Sim. Nope. Nope. The most hardest thing that you can level up is persuasion, you know. Like there's not much jobs that actually like boost your persuasion, like as a secondary, but not as a main. Okay, now what do I want to do now? Oh yeah, Nomi. Let's see. Repair robots? Nope. To the children? Nope. What about engineering? Nope. Okay, if none, then I would be going for tending the animals. Let's tend to the animals. You're working with the bristle slug this week. There's a whole herd of slug-sea preoccupied bees lumbering through the field and rubbing against their scratching posts. You walk right up to them and they don't mind at all. You empty the berry catching buckets and sort through the berries, picking out loose stones and planting any that have sprouted. Those ones will grow into bristle slugs too one day. It's not wet season when they are fully bristled and cranky about the territory, so everyone is playing nice. It's a nice calm month of picking berries and scratching slugs. You spend some some time playing with the cute brittle slug you found while foraging. Emerald. She's looking bright-eyed and happy. You come back from lunch one day to find the door to the pen wide open. Whoops, you must have forgotten to lock it. Good thing brittle slug don't tend to roam. You do a head count. 15, 16, 17. You seem to be short of one brittle slug. At least it's not an emerald. She's still relaxing in the pen, happily snoring away. Luckily, brittle slugs aren't very stealthy. There's a glistening slime trail leading towards the ruins of the stratospheric, decorated with a little cluster of berries. You lock the gate and step along the trail to find your wayward brittle slug, drag it down. You easily find the brittle slug. It's gotten itself wedged against two panels, squishing back and forth on the most perfect scratching situation possible. You laugh and fill your shirt with berries like a bowl, then gently nudge it back to the herd. It's slow going, but eventually everyone's back together again. Good work, Rancher. Okay. Get part 3. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna give presents to Cal. Cal's probably with Tammy right now. Xeno egg. I got a present for you, Flower. Cal. For something you might like. Fruit. But I do want to like... I do want to overthrow him, but I don't have enough persuasion, you know. Tend to the animals. You and Cal are sitting on the fence watching the float cow bob along gently in the breeze, enjoying a few minutes of not mucking out stables. You point out that one you captured, and Cal whistles in admiration. That's so cool, and it's so huge. How did you do it? As gently as possible. Describe how you coaxed the float cow with a handful of flowers until you came to trust you enough to walk right into the expedition vehicles and come along with you. As Cal listens, he smiles and nods. That's how I would have done it too. I mean, look at them, they're so gentle. He rubs his chin. I didn't know what to think about ranching, honestly. It seems kind of mean, like you are stealing wild animals and controlling everything about them. When they can eat, where they can go, even when they can have babies. It just feels rude. But I saw one of these cows when they got here, he continues. They didn't look free, they just looked sad. Like they were so skinny and scared. He waves his arm towards the gently lowing herd of float cow. And now look at them, they're doing great here. Honestly, don't you think it would be kind of nice if someone would take care of you for the rest of your life? No way. You and Cal watch a float cows until it's time to go back to work. Cal climbs off the fence and dust his hands. I'm glad there's people who like to go out in the wild, he says. You're so brave, I don't think I could do that. He squints up at the sky. I'm still kinda not really used to how big the world is, you know. I like it here, in the colony, where I always know where I am and what to do next. I like knowing I'm responsible for just a little bit of the world. He smiled. You know, like these cows, if I can make their life better, well, I think that's a pretty good life for me too. Get to work. Eat. Push through. Done. New perk. Choose from 3 cards when relaxing. You have plans to hang out with Cal today, but when you arrive at Geoponic Zone, it's whirling dark inside. You fumble around in the red emergency lighting until all the lights come back on with a heavy ka-chunk of a breaker being flipped. This one here. It's about his hoverboard. As we know more of that young man, instance goes Cal. as he cradled his hoverboard in his arm. The power grid is not your plaything. I understand, Auntie, Cal says. I'm sorry. Instant mutters to herself as she passes you. Honestly, all of this is over a toy. Hey dude, Cal greets you. Sorry, I meant to meet you outside of work, but... He looks down at his hoverboard. My board won't start, and I figured it was just out of use. But when I plug it in, it threw all of these sparks, and the whole power grid shut down. Cal shuddered, shoulder slump. I was gonna ask Dr. Instant to take a look at it, but she told me she doesn't have time to fix a dumb toy. Let me take a look at it. Well, okay. Cal says, slowly handing over the lifeless hoverboard. I guess you are pretty good at fixing things. You open up the hoverboard and poke around its guts for a while. After about 20 minutes, you think you have figured out. You rewire it so that the power no longer flows through the burnout capacitor and stick out a little duct tape in there and close the casing. Cal takes the hoverboard and cautiously flicks it on the grid. Voila! It floats. Hovers even. Radical, Cal shouts, then covers his mouth with his hands. I mean, this is totally cool, Scummo. Thank you so much. To celebrate, Cal lets you take a first spin on the board. Whoa. It bounces like a wild animal under your feet, and Cal catches you as you stumble on it. Careful, he laughs. The first step is a doozy. Okay. We'll give it the next one, okay? We'll give a cake. Let's see if there's an event with Nomi. Engineering? Nope. Twitter? Nope. Robot? A bot shows up for repair with a note tucked into its chassis. You open up to find Nomi's drawing. They must have snuck into onto one. They knew was coming in for repair, so you be sure to see it. You take it up to the wall next to all of Nomi's other work. Get to work. Man, just increase stress. Wait. Okay, win. Okay, this one here we can skip. Mars is angry, okay? Before I can continue, Mars leaves from her seat and runs to the front of the stage. A ripple of fear goes through the crowd. You all remember what happened to Utopia last year. It doesn't have to be like this, she cries. Speaking to the crowd, we don't have to listen to him. He's just a bully with a big gun, like the ones we left on Earth. Watch in horror. She turns to the council. Why are you just sitting there? Come on, aren't you gonna do anything? The council looked at each other. Red seems unmoved, and Utopia shrinks into herself, holding her hands to her chest. Anne looked concerned but fearful of Lum. Instant is grim, and Zeke just waits to see what happens. Only your mom looks enthusiastic, but she looks around to the others and doesn't give her support. Given that Lum's already hostile towards her, she'd be risking too much. Lum gestures sharply to his guards, and Mars is seized and taken out of sight. In the uncomfortable silence that follows, the governor strides to the front of the stage and looks down to the crowd. As I was saying, you can trust me to lead this colony and humanity into a new era, he says. An era of peace and prosperity, where we no longer need to fear the creatures that come out at night. He raises his fist to the sky. The planet is rich, he cries. It is the Earth we were promised, unscarred by the mistakes of our forefathers. There is a civilization here before, you know? They got destroyed. Here, we will become what humanity has always tried to become. Caretakers of a new garden. Children of a new Earth. People cheer, spurred by Lum's display of dominance. Lum looks upon the crowd with pride. Pioneers so close. They're so close, soon this planet will be ours, and her riches and wonders with it. But first, we need to adapt to the harsh reality of the current world. He gestures to the council. I know you all love your council, but it's time we thought about the future. We need to guard the colony leadership. He says this with a disdain. Against sudden upheavals, death, imprisonment, and the like. I decided to instate a second position for each seat on the council, he announces. Lam explains that every council member will take an official second in command. Seconds will be trained in the running of the department and will be ready to take over the department should the worst happen during an attack. The council looked scared. Is this how Lam began to cycle out colonial government with a veneer of legitimacy? Applicants must have spent a minimum amount of time in the department and will be judged by the council based on their relevant skills, though Lam will likely argue hard for Helios appointees. Describe your ballot for... I think I'll go for... Second cultivator, like... Okay. Administrator, most likely it's going to be Mars. Security, Nam, hopefully. But Vase will also be. I think it's Vase. Second engineer is probably going to be Tangent. Cultivator is Cal. Steward is Tammy. Second surveyor is for me. Second surveyor. Utopia's a little guarded as you enter your name for consideration. Just so long as it's one of us and not one of Lam's lackey, he says quietly. I can't trust one of them to have my back when I'm out in the wilderness. He shoots an acidic look at Red, who's looking charming with the Helios soldiers. Second surveyor. You what? You win. You are the second surveyor now. Utopia breathes a sigh of relief and gives you a hug. I'm happy it was you, sweet, he says. If something happens to me out there, I know the colony's gonna be in mighty fine hands. When the voting is concluded, Seek announced the names of the newly appointed seconds. The crowd cheers for you when Seek reads out your name as second surveyor. You don't recognize Helios' appointee second administrator. Must have been Lum's people. Base is appointed the second security under Red. He gives a little speech essentially congratulating himself and promising a single-handedly win this war. Tanya stands proudly in her rightful place as chief engineer instant side as her second. Cal is chosen as second cultivator. He looks a little overwhelmed. Your mom must have put his name in. The steward of the Heliopause joins Aunt Anne as her much needed steward. There are a lot of babies in the colony now, and someone has to take care of them. What about Tammy? After the politicking is over, the crowd adjourns to the feast tables and eventually the dance floor. The sun sets on the long day and the heat breaks. The party continues well into the night. After the festivities, it's back to the work as usual. Everyone complains. You usually get a few days off after Maternalia, but Lum reminds that the colony is only a few short months away before the next attack. The dreams begin to increase in intensity as the wormhole draws closer to the planet. Filled with terrifying and confusing vision, a feeling of urgency dogs your steps, like you're running out of time. Next month. Okay. Present for you. Birthday. Oh! I was supposed to give a cake. Cake. Let's see. 99. One more. Perform an act of kindness. Congruent's birthday. Congruent, the ship's tireless AI, has attended to every birthday but has never had one of her own. Tammy comes up with the idea to throw Congruent a surprise party. Sure, she doesn't have a birthday like you do, but so you make up one. It's today! Hooray! There's no hiding from Congruence though. She sees through everything in the colony, including you two setting up. But she pretends to be absolutely delighted when Tammy presents her with a cake. A collection of solar converters tied together with an electrical cord. Okay, we just need one more for Nomi. Okay, no. How about tutor? Nope. How about engineering? Nope. Uh, I think we should. Where's Mars? I found something you might like. Give her this. Mars 22. Okay, work in the depot. You're working with Mars at depot. Okay, we just can skip this. Confront her. Help her cook the books. Get to work. Wait. $53. Just nice. My persuasion is really low. Lead dust. Okay, now let's give presents. Hell. Something you might like. Bobber fruit. And now let's go and meet Tammy. Present flower. Okay. Spend some time. Work in the depot. It's your turn to stock the shelves. Thank you so much for helping me with this. This was basically like so that we can talk with Rex. 9, 7. Ooh. Wait, what was this? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too bad we can't get it. I was hoping to get a super goal. Okay, next. Okay, give her, because today's her birthday. Seems that we can't, overthrow it. Where's Nomi? With this, Nomi will be at max. Present for you. Here you go. Okay, next. Scamo! Nomi exclaimed as he walked into the lounge. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Nomi is surrounded by people who are looking at their holoscreen. The air is passive, with people sharing screens and laughing. There are big bowls of snacks. It's launch day, Nomi exclaimed. Linking the hollow palm with yours. You feel the haptics in your palm pulses as it accepts the game file. Come on, give it a try. Let's go. You wake up in your bedroom and look over at the clock. Oh no, you're late for school. You quickly get dressed in your school uniform, grab a piece of toast and start running. While you're hurrying under the boughs of the cherry blossoms, you run, literally, into a strange cat-like creature. It blinks at you with its curious amphibian secondary eyes and chirps. Hopping back and forth on its single leg, it seems agitated. What do? Follow it. You follow the strangely cute cat down an alleyway to a constructed site. Rex. There, in the middle of the lot, lies another creature. This one is larger and much more human-shaped, though it's still clearly alien. It turns to you, and you know in your heart that you've seen death in its four slitted eyes. A human, it says weakly. Please come closer. Be not afraid of me. Do you approach the dying alien? I do. A terrible fate is about to befall on your planet. The alien calls. My name is Geslar, and I've come to warn humanity that my people are coming to destroy you. Sim. My ship was shot down by the forward fleet, and I landed here. I will not survive my wounds, but... He extends his three-fingered hand to you, and you take it. It feels cold and then hot all over as a mysterious energy fills your body. You barely keep yourself from collapsing as you feel the soap bubble of your reality and expand to contain this massive new power. Gesla coughs, speckling the ground with blue-green blood. I bestowed upon you the power of royalty, he says. All in my lineage have harnessed the vibration of the cosmos and transformed into beings of unimaginable power. Maho Shoujo. Please use the power to rebuke my people. Save your planet. How do you know How do I know you're telling the truth? How can I possibly defeat the aliens? It is not necessary to defeat them entirely. You only need to convince them to leave you alone. How do I do that? Your mind is filled with images, a younger version of Gisla in happier times. Cradling a baby, many years later teaching that child to aim a ray gun. A curious face, innocent and confused, becoming warped over time to something hard and aggressive as her father become more and more embroiled in intergalactic politics. By greatest joy and by greatest sorrow, Gisla sighed. My daughter, Mjolnir, she leads the invasion force. If you can get through her, you can convince her to call off the attack. Please, take the power of the cosmos. Transform, save your planet. The alien shudders and breathes his last breath, having used the very last of his strength to impart this terrible responsibility. He collapses and goes still. What do you do now? Go to school. You decide to take cool and get on with your day. You take your seat at your desk and open your textbook, but as the teacher takes her place at the front of the classroom, she suddenly doubles over pain. In pain? All of your classmates clutch their head, some screaming and falling on their chairs to writhe on the floor. You seem to be the only one unaffected. I run outside. You turn around the sky and watch it suddenly filled with alien spaceship. Giant mechas stomp down the street, firing lasers from their eyes and turning buildings into dust. Everywhere you look, humans writhe in pain on the ground, completely helpless to fight back. Only you remain standing. A spaceship lands before you, and the doors open with an eerie whoosh. A tall, muscular humanoid with an elegant face and 4 almond-shaped eyes of different colors stalk down the ramp towards you, their full silver mane tossing the jet wash. What is the meaning of this? The alien demands. Our pain rays have no effect on you? I know who you are, Mjolnir. You strike a pose and you feel Gisla power flow through you. It's almost as if you drop out of reality for a moment and transformed by the power of the cosmos into something greater. There, your vision clears. You feel much taller and stronger, and your school uniform much skimpier. 2 glowing white wings flutter from your shoulder blades. Mjolnir rose in confusion, so my father was successful in contacting the human. She snarled, her fang teeth gleaming. His power flows through you. I would know it anywhere. Please stop. We don't have to fight. Humanity is the aggressor here, Mjolnir exclaimed, pointing his finger at you. Humans had their unchecked blundering into the interstellar ley lines have upset aeons and peace among my people. Like uninformed children, you stumble blindly into the great works of your betters. So like my father, believe you need guiding hand to overcome your human weakness, Mjolnir says, her mouth quaking. Others believe you to be beyond hope. Mjolnir makes frustrated noise. You have thrown our ultimate peace into chaos. I care not for the ultimate fate of humanity. If you will not stay on your path, your patch of earth, I'll bury you under it, and my people will be done with you. There must be another way to make peace. Mjolnir sneers. Peace! She spits, as if disgusted by the word. There will be peace when humanity is gone. She raises her ray gun at you and sets you in her sights, her flinty eyes flashing with rage, and underneath it, hurt. Her hand begins to shake. She curses, lowering her gun. I could no sooner kill you than I could kill my father, and I tried. She extends her hand to you, open palm. You will come with me. The power of kings and queens flows through your veins as it does mine. On my planet, you will be regarded as the queen of humans, and with you by my side, we will quell any infighting among my people. Like marriage? Mjolnir considered this carefully. Yes, much like a human marriage. My people have this as well. If it will save humanity, then yes. Fiona nods and takes your hand in her much larger one. It will be done. She gestures and you see the alien forces immediately stop in their incursion. People begin to pick themselves up off the ground, looking around in horrified wonder. Mjolnir looks down at you, a small smile quirking in the corner of her lips. I did not expect to see such power and bravery from a human. Life with you will be interesting, my queen. You close the game and look around the lounge. Many more people have entered in the time that's passed, and are excitedly playing on their own hollow screen. Nobby pounces you right away. Marrying Mjolnir, huh? They say, scrunching their nose up at you. I put that one in there for Rex. He really wanted the chance to boink his alien self. Nami taps the tips of her fingers together. So, what do you think? I can tell how hard you work on it. Okay, presses their hands to the cheek. Well, thank you, they exclaim. I really did work hard on it. A bunch of colonists come up and congratulate Naomi on their story, momentarily distracting them from talking to you. You sit back and watch Naomi accept their much deserved compliment, and think about how incredible it's been to see Naomi really blossom in their short time in the colony, like a beautiful sakura tree. Naomi finishes up their wishes and turns to you, a characteristic sparkle in your eye. They take you by the hand and look at you earnestly. Thank you so much, Scamo. You're the reason I was able to see through all the way to the end. They shoot you a blinding smile. I couldn't have done it without you. Okay. We're gonna go for 2 more. Work in the depot. Among all, let's admire Bud and do our work. You and Mars are working together at the depot, lazily filing orders and stocking shelves. It's not a glamorous job, but it is easy. And you don't have to run all over the colony or have to deal with anything gross like weather. Mars cranes her head to watch a customer leave, then whistles. Wow, she says, leaning her head on her hand dreamily. Did you see the behind on that one? Honestly, the best part of the colony living is that everyone is in, like, peak physical form. You know what I'm saying? Let's admire Butts and do close your eyes and you both get back to work, taking breaks to giggle over particularly delicious customers. At one point, Zeke comes in to drop something off and they turn around and leave. We have Mars burst into laughter. You can't help but notice Zeke does sashay ever so slightly when they walk, hips swinging like a pendulum. Get to work. All cards become wild. Now this is good. Go. And one more. Then we're gonna go and rest. Work in the depot. Persuasion 60. Rebellion. Spy on them. Persuasion. Leave. Get to work. Value is wild. Okay, like this. Equal. Give it to Cal. Thump. Okay, Cal and Tabby. Mob of fruit. Ooh, what's it? For the last time, leave me alone. Okay, this one is that they try to like poach him to become one of the security guards or security officers. I wish it would leave you alone. We have right. We need to live in harmony with nature. I'm glad you agree. Boba fruit. The reason why, because we're gonna go out in blue season. So in other words, next month. present. Oh, event. Okay, skip. Animal parents are fierce protectors too. You're gonna be a great mom, Tammy. Sorry for skipping a lot because like I want to end the stream soon because like I want to like repeal that the subscription, okay? Relax in the part. Gamu, your mom voiced Rikki Tikki through the garden before you could even see her. You and Rikki Tikki pause in the crack. Then your Rikki slithers and hides under a bush. Okay. Your mom thunders down the path. Where is the little pink bastard? She hollers, waving around a gardening trowel. They ate my begonias. Your mom must be nurturing a couple of pots of begonias, beautifully flowering bushes with delicate bloom. Like most plants from Earth, they're exceedingly precious. Once the seed bank is used up, the only way to make up is to successfully propagate them on Fortuna. Rikki Tikki is innocent. You hear a hacking noise from the underbrush. Rikki Tikki creeps out from the bush, as if on cue, hulks up a wet mass of pink and yellow petals. Your mom fixes her angry gaze at you. Your pet is a menace, she exclaims. At least spiders back home ate other pests. This one's a pest. He puts a hand on her hip. You should just release the damn thing. Who knows what it's going to grow up to be? Everything here just keeps growing. Nothing on this planet knows when to stop. Like my begonia, perfectly contained in their little pot. They knew when to stop. It's not Rikki Tikki's fault. Your mom points at her eyes, then points at Rikki Tikki. I'm watching you, she mutters. Okay, take this out. Okay, glow season. Okay, we're at the best condition. Okay, sneak out. This. No one is allowed outside the colony during glow, so you stay out of the lookout sites. There will be nobody to catch you. It also means you're alone out here. If you get into trouble, it's going to be big trouble. You hope you know what you're doing. The familiar is unfamiliar during glow. The sky is dark except for the eerie glow of the wormhole, seemingly so much closer than it usually is, and the gloom makes the shadow deeper and more mysterious. It's so hauntingly quiet that you can even hear the movement of animals, the beat of soft wings, and a warmth of something that is large in the distance. What is that curious sound? It's just a dog's moth taking flight. Its unusually dull plumage is an iridescent rainbow glowing warmly in the dark of glow. It slowly glides through the mushroom trees. You've been thought to be terrified of glow season since you landed here. That there were monsters here, circling the colony and attacking anything they saw. But it's so much more serene than you were expecting. Were they wrong or lying to you? You come across a sawmill that's been shut down for the season. There's movement inside. Something in there is yipping and moaning in pain. You approach it carefully and find that some sort of a dog-like creature has gotten trapped inside the machinery. It crawls at you and blinks its eyes, then its other eyes. Or it has lots of eyes. The loggers won't be back for weeks, so this creature will surely die slowly and painfully. It looks worn out already, but still dangerous, Billy said. You try to come near, but it bites you ferociously, nearly taking your hands off. You don't see a way you can safely free it. Put it out of its misery. As you draw a class cutter, an unnatural weariness comes over you. You feel as though you've been trapped for days in that sawmill itself. Struggling and failing to get free, you're so thirsty and weak from hunger, feeling yourself gradually begin to accept that you'll never escape. You feel an irresistible urge to just give up. You flop to the ground in something of a trance and sit staring at the trapped animal. Then something bizarre happens. A massive shadow drifts into the lumberyard, coming between you and the creature. You have a sense of an immense presence, something massive but graceful. You are not quite sure if you're dreaming, but you feel rooted to the spot, and unnaturally calm, as if you have been drugged. The shadow stays a while, observing you curiously, then it drifts away again. You blink, coming out of your trance. What just happened? Did you fall asleep? You look back over the machinery and realize the trapped-eye beast is gone. You aren't sure if you should feel relief or terrified. Was it freed or eaten? But you decided to hack away from this place and now ask questions later. You're amazed at how peaceful it is out here. It's not what you expected. You stay out of sight when the watchtower slips between the marsh trees. It's eerily silent, as if the forest is holding its breath in anticipation. It really is pretty out here, with all the plants and animals glowing, especially the wormhole filling the sky above you. Timey-wimey wormhole stuff. You crane in your head up to look at the wormhole. It's so big you begin to feel dizzy, and end up stumbling over a bit of banal root. Ouch. As you're laying on your back in pain, you're transfixed by the wormhole. It's a dark against dark sky, but as it moves it shimmers with a million colors turning in slow fluid motion around the perfectly black pool in the center. Wow. Though you can't see it, you've been told the wormhole high above is shining with ultraviolet light. It's invisible to the human eye, but absorbed and re-emitted as visible light by the flora and fauna around you. Your holopalm calls it black light, says that people on Earth used to use similar, much more concentrated light as decoration. Even your clothing glows faintly. Okay, this one here. You come to a dense part of the path where the canal surrounds you and blocks out the sky and the wormhole above. Long threads that looks like hair are hanging down from the trees. Strange, you've never seen this during the rest of the year. You have to go through this and take a closer look. The strands are sticky like a spider web, so sticky and thick, in fact, that you would be caught if you tried to push your way through, cut my way through. Your skill with plus cutter comes in handy, and you are able to cut a scalpel-sized hole through the sticky hairs without accidentally getting them all over yourself. Seriously, this stuff is super glue, and the strands are extremely tough. You get a small piece of pants and are pretty sure it's never coming off. Okay, over here. Manticore. You're crossing a section of wilderness here where the plants don't throw off as much luminescence as other parts. It's oppressively dark here. You use holopalm as flashlight, focusing the light as a beam to slowly make your way through the flowing undergrowth. The beam of your holopalm flips over to a familiar form, a manticore. Your heart skips a beat at encountering this fearsome beast in the dark. The manticore isn't the deadly killer of the colony's cautionary tale. Actually, it looks terrified. It backs up against a tree, covering its eyes rolling in panic. Keep your light on it. You're too scared to move your light away, convinced it will pounce under cover of darkness. You try to hold your light steady, but you're shaking more. So is the manticore. Then you realize it isn't even looking at you. It's staring to the forest to the right. You slowly grasp that the manticore isn't scared of you. It's scared of something else. It suddenly screeches in fear and bolts to the left. You hear something absolutely enormous moving in the trees to the right, where the manticore was staring. Its deep grinding sound like ancient trees rubbing together in the wind, except there's no wind. Return your flashlight and hold your breath. You hear a single loud thump, then stillness again. You wait a full 20 minutes in complete silence. Gradually, the insect chirps and other noises of the forest return, and the glow bugs drift lazily back in the air. You hadn't realized they were missing, as if the entire jungle was holding its breath too. Whatever it was seen has moved on. Do a little bit more. You come across a strangely glowing river in the sky. Floating just over the mushroom-capped treetops, it reminds you of old Earth bits about Milky Way or the Northern Light. It undulates away to the left and right, a river of luminous mist. Beneath it, a curtain of tiny glowing particles slowly rains down to the forest below. Follow it. It seems to be dancing to the left and flowing slowly to the right, so you decided to head left towards what must be the source. You stray from the path. The ground is hard to traverse in the dim phosphorescence. The river gets dense and starts to shimmer a little, like the spore clouds you see sometimes in pollen. You're careful not to get too close to the particles raining down from it. The mist seems to be coming from something near the ground, something up ahead. It's something big and moving. The strange river of light is flowing from something on the next plateau. It's heading east and trailing this glowing dust, some kind of spore maybe, behind it. You could go down to the ravine here and try to keep following it, or safely cross under the eerie stream and continue where you've headed before. Keep going. After a harrowing trip through the muddy ravine, you make it up to the next plateau, only to find the sky river has dissipated. You can't find any sign of it, or sign of what made it. Well. Okay, this one here. This area is dotted with huge circles of glowing mushrooms. Each one is a meter in diameter. The bare grass in the center of the circle looks remarkably lush. Take a closer look. You crouch down to analyze the mushroom. It's a species you don't recognize, but your holofarm reports that they live most of the year underground and only pop out during glow season. This close, you notice that the entire area of the circle is sunken, and the grass has been flattened, almost like a footprint. But what would be big enough to make this? Decide not to wait to find out. Sim. Shadows upon shadow move against each other in glow, wavering under the gloaming of mush trees like ghosts. The forest is as still as creature breathing its last breath. You don't see Sim until practically on top of him. Hi Sugarbug, he laughs, holding you by the shoulders. Miss me? You nearly didn't there. I totally saw you there. Sim smiles. Of course you did. You're practically made for this place. Sim starts walking through the forest, his footsteps finding the path with ease. This is my favorite time of the year, you know. I get the sense that you humans are afraid of it. Well, things do tend to attack us. That's true, Sim replies, tilting his head with a funny expression. Those attacks are not natural, as you may have guessed. Glow isn't dangerous at all. It's lovely. He smiles. Glow is a time of healing actually, a time for creatures of this planet to go dormant and reflect on themselves, and to strengthen connection with other life forms. Of course the planet repels you, he adds, raising his hands to stir a cloud of glowing spores drifting above your head. You don't connect. You're like a blur lodged against the skin. Sim continues walking. I'm sure you have some question for me as usual, he says in a voice dry. Is Noctism the one attacking us? Sim smiles and looks off in the distance. So you've met. My condolences. Your views are difficult to hold within myself, though I understand that implicitly. Noctism is responsible for invasive species management, Sim adds. So yes, repelling you falls under the other way. The most obvious method, as you mentioned, is the yearly attack. Though there are other more subtle methods to discourage growth, plague and famine for example. It doesn't need to be this way, he sighed. Tim stops walking and smiles politely. Well, that's it for now. The trees have ears, you know. Oh, we can talk again. What's up with this wormhole? Just like that, you'd like me to unravel the mysteries of the universe for you? Suffice to say, I don't think you fully understand me even when I explain everything I know. He looks up at the wormhole with a thoughtful expression. Truthfully, the wormhole is older than even this planet, he murmurs. It operates on a level of space and time that are beyond even my comprehension. The universe is impossibly vast and unknowable. I'm sure you already noticed that it's related to your foresight, yes? He asks, and you nod. Your dreams, if that's what they were. They always seem to get worse in wet and glow, when the wormhole is close to the planet. Many individuals such as yourself are sensitive to the wormhole effect on time and space, fluctuation and eddies in the normal linear flow of reality. Think of it like an echo, only not your own. Think of it as a version of yourself stood in this spot and shouted, then moved toward in time before hearing his own voice and returned. You can hear these echoes, choices that person made and events, experience that may have not come to pass for yourself. So I can change the future? Tilted said, yes, but forgive me for being glib, but that's not what makes you special. All living things can change the future simply by existing, he says. You see glimpses of what might happen as you do. Tim stops walking and smiles politely. Well, that is enough for now. The trees have ears, you know. Okay. The faces. Your exploration lead you steadily to upward until you find yourself on a plateau overlooking the valley. The colony is dark little smudge below, a break in the magnificent natural luminescence of flow. From up here, the wormhole feels so close you could touch it. You're not alone here. Your heart leaps into your throat as you spot it, a silhouette dark on dark under the eerie light of the wormhole, a faceless. Stay to watch it. Atop this high plateau, ringed by gnarled trees, the massive creature stands, staring at the sky. As you watch mesmerized, some of its swaying tentacles open up, and a glowing dust oozes from them, rising like smoke into the night. Then it's gone. The whole entire face has just vanished in the blink of an eye, or did you imagine it? You rub your face, easing the sudden tension that has sprung up behind your eyeballs. Approach where it was standing. There are footsteps here, giant footsteps, each ringed with mushroom, pushed up from the moist soil by the weight of the beast. You gingerly realize you're standing in the middle of one. The faces, if indeed was standing here earlier, would crush you as flat as the grass beneath your feet. You find other signs of it. Trees have been knocked down in a circular pattern here, and the bushes and grasses have been pushed up into one big mound, leaving the rest of the plateau clear. You remember this place now, from your visions from under the pyramid in the resting ridges, and from long before that. You feel as if, as you always known, something important will happen here soon. Wait. Okay, this one we just have to keep on waiting. Wait. But since we, calm temperament and hop by gear, we don't get any stress. Wait. You wait. You always been waiting. You will always be waiting. Staring up at the wormhole, being stuck into the depths, a shadow falls over you. Look at the shadow. You slowly lower your gaze, and from where you've been staring at the wormhole for hours, your neck stiff and sore. Straight ahead of you, what you earlier thought was just a shadow of tree, is the faces. It was there all along, watching you. It takes a heavy step forward, then another. It moves gently, its feet sinking to the soft ground, pushing up phosphoric sand fungi from below and explode to the surface. It rings in jubilant light. You don't move as it approaches. It took all your strength to look away from the wormhole, but you're still completely spellbound. The faces zooms over you, as big as a building. Its zip-necked grapes grotesquely, and its tentacles wave gently through the air. Tasting it, feeling it, smelling you. The two ends of the tentacle open, and that strange glowing mist floats up from them. It leans down. It envelops you in its tentacles, each as large as you are, and you breathe in the spores. Under the internal night sky of glow, the wormhole seems to swallow you both whole, and the entire planet and an infinite number of universes besides. You feel a beckoning within you, a curious tug with somewhere in your ribcage, a yearning you can't describe. Oh, so the faceless is the one that can control time, like perceive time. Resist. You aren't ready. A small part of you demands to stay here, on this plane of consciousness. You hold your breath and bring your mind back to the present. You let the faces touch you and softly with its tentacles until it's satisfied with what you've made, that you've made your decision, then it withdraws. As you slowly disconnect from the gentle creature, you can feel emotion, its stories. You understand that it was born like the others of its kind, in a breeding tank below the ground. Although it was sent here to destroy a colony, something changed in it that can't be changed back. Is this Sim? You see again the images of the faces staring up at the wormhole, transfixed as you were. It no longer feels the pull of the ley line, the thumpers, the forces that were used to control it. It is no longer a construct or an avatar, but a free being. It only feels the dance of the wormhole now, and the natural rhythms of life itself. You stand completely still, arrested by the sudden understanding that sweeps over you. The faces retreats to the large mound of grasses and bushes at the end of the plateau. A baby faces pokes its head from the nest, wriggling its tentacle in greeting to its mother. Done. Okay, go home. Done. Knowing the attack is coming, as it's always coming low, does nothing to calm your nerves. There's only so long you can handle sheltering in your quarters. As the month draws longer, you find yourself almost compulsively walking the walls when you're not working. I think this one we can skip, because like we've watched this the last time, okay? The moon on the wall is discouraged. 1 facer destroyed our colony. 2 facers required to responsible number of explosives to take down. How are we supposed to be able to handle 3? Wait, there's even more? A familiar being cuts through the horde and stands at the front, like a general leading the army. Gardeners must come in all shapes and sizes, but you know this one from the hatred in their eyes. It's Noctilucent. Noctilucent steps forward. For millennia, I have been tasked with keeping this planet safe from invasive species, extreme weather, plague, famine, the migration of predators. All tactics that I have used to ensure invasive species cannot find a foothold where they do not belong. Their command of the human language has vastly improved since you last saw them. The gardeners learn quickly. Controlling you by indirect means has proven ineffective, they say, glaring up at the row of horrified colonies on top of the walls. I can no longer ignore the destruction you have caused and the threat you represent to the planetary ecosystem. However, Tim steps out of the tree line and stands beside Noctilucent. His eyes find yours uneasily across the firebreak. Some gardeners argue that you have the capacity for reason, Noctilucent continues. So I've come to offer an alternative, your unconditional surrender. Noctilucent smirks up. Surrender is the correct word, is it not? Something your singular violent brain can understand. The terms are simple. Humanity will cease reproduction, cease expansion, and in return will be allowed to live your remaining lifespans within the bounds of your walls. Do you accept? Lam steps forward. I do not know who you think you are, buddy. His voice booms out from the wall. But you and your bullshit deal can bugger off, and keep buggering off, until you think you can bugger it off so much you can't bugger off any further. He points at Noctilucent, then bugger off some more. This planet belongs to us humans now. It's hard to tell, but you think Noctilucent looks amused. Maybe they are hoping this would be your answer. And of course, Lon speaking for the colony, it was inevitable. So be it. Fight. Your species is truly hopeless, Noctilucent snarled. I told them you would never put aside your egos. The wave of attacker rose over the firebreak, crashing against the wall. Flying creatures scream overhead, and the sound of class rifle fills the air. The colony is well defended. As you run, you take pride in how swiftly the defenders have rallied to protect the colony. After 9 years, it really feels like you have a handle how to defend against these animal attacks. The effort everyone put into to shoring up the defenses hasn't gone to waste. This battle is going to in your favor. You're descending from the walls and you are thrown to the ground by tremendous rumble. A few meters in front of you, something tunnels towards you through the mud. You have the impression of something long and dark that has cut through the ground like a shark through water. You scramble to your feet, but it cuts you off your path, forcing you towards the geoponic building. It's a storage shed, mostly empty. Okay, this one we've done. We went through it. It's the same as last time. Okay. Like this. Next round. Get pushed through 30 stress. You grab a rake and okay, this one is the same. And now, like we are back here with an anemone. helping up. Climb up. Okay, it's the same. And now, the dog. You remember this from another life. Dodge and fight. You shout a warning and push Anemone to one side as he dives to the other. The beast roars and transforms into a towering horror. A thing that has haunted your dreams for years, but you're ready for it. You realize you've been waiting for it your whole life. You distract the creature by hurling a piece of debris, which it catches in midair and grinds it to bits with its powerful jaws. This gives Anemone time to get close and zap it with a stun glove. While the creature is immobilized, you jump in and finish it with your blast cutter. You emerge from the inferno of the shed and burn and concussed but alive. Anemone smiles. It's good to be alive. You have your wounds tended in the med bay. Other soldiers that are in much worse shape, but at least the battle is over. The vessels held through the largest attack to date, with no casualty at all. The colony really came together to push back the Xenos once again. You feel a certain amount of pride for your part in it. Someday, you'll find a way to beat this monster once and for all. But for now, you're just happy you survived to live another day, and that day is your birthday. By the time you recovered, the suns have returned. It's your 20th birthday. You are fully fledged adult now, though in many ways you already were, and you have already been for a long time. Okay, the end. Explorer. There's a whole planet out there to explore, and you intend to see every corner of it. It's a dangerous planet out there, but also full of endless frontiers and new discoveries to make. Lead a survey team. You eventually become Utopia's second surveyor, and the two of you run things together for many years. He counts on your knowledge and your level head to ensure that the future explorer stays safe while also respecting the planet. The two of you became close. The fearless chief surveyor, with her southern drawl and long silver braid, flying high in her glider and playing protective big sister to all. You always thought she was special, and though she rebuffed your awkward teenage flirting, you grew to see each other as equals. During one particularly harrowing survey mission, you end up stranded together on a mountain during a magnetic storm, your gliders and comms incapacitated. On the third night, as the temperature dropped and you sat huddled by your dwindling campfire, slaying the last of the mushroom whiskey, Utopia suggested you share a bedroll to keep each other warm. You weren't sure if the magic of the night would follow you back to civilization, but it did. It was the start of many happy years together in love. Once he got off the mountain, that is. But what about? Chief Engineer Tangent has a nice ring to it. It always seemed like Tangent's life was laid out for her. Work hard, discover amazing things, and eventually replace Instance as the Chief Engineer. However, after only a year on council, Tangent surprises everyone by stepping down. She says that she simply doesn't have enough time to run engineering and do her research. But you know that the truth, she doesn't want to be used, like Instance was. Her brush for genocide made her realize she needed to think more about the repercussion of her actions. Instead, she contented herself with being a regular researcher, quietly pushing the boundaries of medical science and having a hand in every major discovery. She trains up new researchers in every discipline, passing on everything she learned from Instance and everything since. It's an unremarkable life for someone as impossibly promising as Tangent, but she seems happy. She smiles more often and has more time to spend with you, and gets more than enough sleep every night. Kinda regret that, but she's still gonna reject you. But the problem is with Lum, I wonder what will happen if you're the governor. Her love life remains fairly private, though she's not as frigid as she always claimed. You hear from the colony gossip that she carries on with a string of casual relationships, mostly with other scientists, mostly women. She donates genetic material to a number of children, but doesn't choose to raise any of her own. is quite picky of their genetic enhancement, obsessing over any markers that of anxiety or depression. Basically, with this, he's because this the can't feel fear. But ultimately, her children grow up healthy and in loving families far removed from Tang's own childhood. It's a bittersweet reminder of her. Tanya lives and dies in the shadow of what she almost caused out to happen in Matuna. Knowing that she almost killed every living thing on the planet weighs heavily on her for the rest of her days. Unfortunately, with genetic alteration, the human body was not made to withstand long periods without sleep, and Tanya's willful negligence in taking care of herself certainly doesn't help. She develops a heart condition in her early 60s that outpaces the healing capacity of the medbed and eventually takes her life. I wish I could save her, Your friend Liz keeps on exploring. He never really finds himself on the right side of colony authority, but he's the best surveyor in the expedition. Utopia defends him as best as he can. He spends more and more time outside the colony walls, even during Glow when the colony is supposed to be locked down. This earned him some distrust from the more militant faction of the colony. What is he doing out there? Who is he meeting? Utopia's word keeps him out of trouble, but isn't enough to keep this from frequently being hauled in for questioning. This grows to resent the colony more and more every year. In his late 20s, he disappears during an unscheduled expedition past the resting ridges. Utopia leads the rescue attempt with you by her side. You're worried for him at first, but Utopia seems pretty calm, almost as she doesn't expect or want to find anything. She reports that he's disappeared without a trace. And it's just the darndest thing. You always wonder if he's out there somewhere. What about? Nobby continues to pursue their dream as a whole normal creator, but they never stop dabbling in all sort of things, just the way they like it. Nobby's not really interested in dating the same way everyone else is. It takes them a long time to warm up to the idea of getting physical with someone, and they need to feel loved and feel comfortable with them first. You are their friend and confidant as they begin to explore the world of dating, already ready to doodle dreamily on someone's picture, or come running with a box of tissue. You wouldn't say they are unlucky in love, just that love seems slow to find them, and Nomi isn't determined to go hunting for it. They always have you though. Between you and Rex, Nomi's full on best friendship, and they say that's all they really needed in life. They never lose their fascination with a tune of animals. One, their hyperfixation leads them to volunteer as a rancher, where they are working on one fateful day when the explorers bring in a dinosaur. Despite the beast's aggression and capricious nature, something between them just clicks. Nomi becomes the only person who can calm down the fearsome creature, to the point that where it follow along behind them as a gentle folk cow. Nomi's magical unicorn friend is something of a celebrity among the colony. They are a big hit at the princess-themed birthday parties. It's hard to believe that someone like Nomi grew up on the heliopause. They don't march to the beat of their own. They don't just march to the beat of their own drum. They have their own brass band, an acrobat troupe, and a free candy buffet, all in one person. They are friend through thick and thin, but what about symbiosis, the bridge between two peoples? Undying, never aging. The ever-patient Sim becomes much a mystery to you as the rest of the planet. The colony continues to buckle under yearly attacks and unnatural disaster, but Sim never wavers in his passion to learn about humanity. Though he remains as cryptic as always, his affection for your species only deepens. In your grief and demoralizing fatigue, you sometimes turn to blaming Sim. Why can't he stop these attacks? Why can't he argue with the gardeners to leave humanity alone? He never holds it against you, no matter how cruel your words. Every time you calm down, he patiently reminds you that his dissenting voice is one of the only reasons humanity hasn't been destroyed outright. Meeting Sim in secret makes you feel horrible sometimes, like you are being torn apart in the middle of the war. You love your friend, but the war takes its toll on your friendship, just like it wears down the colony. You visit Sim as your job allows it, but over time you see him less. He doesn't need to come to your rescue anymore. You're an adult now, and you know what you're doing out in the wilds. Eventually, you stop seeing him at all. You think he might have been taken another form? Maybe he's moved from humans to study some other animals, or maybe gardeners have given up on understanding humans. The attacks only grow stronger every year. Your friend Tammy blossomed into a fine mother, not just to her own child, but to every person in the colony who needs a mother's love. Kel and Tammy commitment ceremony is the event of the decade, bedecked with flowers, streamers, and holographic images of unicorns and fairy tale castles. They stand before the colony with Achaia and profess their intentions to live together as a family unit. A foregone conclusion for most, as Tammy is already beginning to show her second pregnancy. The three, soon the four, then many more of them are a symbol of hope for a growing colony. They live on a homestead near geoponics and their home is always filled with love and laughter. Tammy insists on cooking for you on your weekly family dinners, and she even begins to get pretty good at it. Quite without meaning to, Tammy becomes an advocate for the communal raising of children, just as you yourself were raised. The more militant he does with this, not wanting to associate with the straddle hippie nonsense. But as the colony grows, so too does her influence over the next generation. Uncle Tony could not be proud of his daughter, or his score of grandchildren. Though Aunt Anne stays on as chief steward well into the 70s, Tammy takes over the new crush and becomes something of a mythical figure in the colony. Auntie Tammy in her own right, there's no child born who doesn't know the safety and warmth of Tammy's arms. What about? Your parents work hard every day to see their pioneer dream come true. Feeding the colony is a massive job, but they tackle it together. Farming, ranching, analyzing native plants, trying to find a way for humanity to thrive on Latuna. Every year, their work is hindered by the attacks that seem to target geoponics specifically, but they never give up. The strain ages them prematurely. Your mom dies of a heart attack, too young, and your dad lives forward another decade or so before it claims him too. They'll always be with you, in the ground you walk on, in the trees that gives you shade, in the cycle of life that sustains you. What about? Papa is a good companion, but you're no longer replacement for its own species. When a herd of Ropai roam close enough to the colony, you recede back to the wild. A few years later, you're greeted one morning by the whole litter of Popeye kittens outside your door, and Optimus Prime proudly showing off their family. Your Ricky grows from the size of a small dog to the size of a bear, and becoming more and more unwieldy, and more terrifying to small children. Before the council can force you to do anything about your arachnid octopus friend, Ricky Tiki just disappears. You look everywhere in the colony for it, but your answer comes from outside the wall, a new Ricky nursery tree. Soon, the colony is host to many furious Ricky pups who call your Ricky Tiki home. What about? Your Unisaur will seemingly live forever, just as cantankerous as she has been. Clever Girl is born in the colony though, and ultimately even though you've made great strides in taming her, you never domesticated her or her species. You decide it's best to release her into the wild. She designs to give you a regal nuzzle before sprinting off the swamp where you found her. And in my later years, the days turn to months, eventually becoming years, then decades. Before you know, you're old. Life is tough but rewarding. With your strong defenses, the colony becomes a fortress against untamed wilds of the planet Batumna. Expansion is slow and difficult, but the hunting squad keep the local xenofauna down. You even start the second colony a few hundred clicks away, and humanity begins to get a real foothold on the planet. Gone are the days where you worry about the humanity will be wiped out for good, but still far from the utopian paradise you were promised. This is your home, for better for worse. You do what you can to make it a good one. Okay, death. Okay, this is the same thing. I lived my best life. You've been a good keeper to our friends and family, haven't we? We're no stranger to death, but it's still good to cheat it every once in a while, isn't it? Come with me. Go with them. Okay, so I'm gonna end this here, and tomorrow we're gonna go for a governor run, okay, and that'll be the last run, okay, and see if we can make it because I haven't seen that ending yet, okay. I'll go until maybe each 19, like today, so that way we don't get we basically can see everything It's probably gonna be like an hour or two stream. Okay, hopefully. Like I'm gonna skip like the same thing that we've seen. Okay, so with that said, I'll end the stream here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.